got scared? Like, this is, you're buying a property like that.
Fasting and prayer, like that
a lot of that. To be honest,
sense.
a lot of prayer. Like sometimes a lot of tears. Like the whole process was. People
it was
see,
a long, stressful process.
Exactly. Yeah. People see it as it is, but they don't know what goes behind it.
We've got the biggest duo in property at the moment.
Yeah.
Our two beautiful queens.
Krypton Conan,
the property scene, female version. Can you introduce yourself, please?
I am Sandra.
And I am Zoe.
And we are Sanzo Properties.
Wow. So excited to have you guys in the building.
Thank you.
Seen
to
them.
be here.
That's good. I've seen the amazing stuff you're doing on Instagram. You guys, I think you launched like last year now?
Yeah, we started last year.
Last year now. So yeah, I think I came across your profile again, just doing some good stuff, doing some amazing stuff. Obviously, you'll talk about it in this episode, but just to start off, can you just give me your background, both of you?
There's other people in the studio.
I like you introduced.
Wow.
Wait. You're having a one-on-one with
Wait.
them.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Hello, it's your boy Gokes in the building.
Don't do that.
What you man saying?
Don't do that.
You man good. Wait, what's that dumb thing you said? Sweet like honey. Sweet like...
Introduce yourself, boys. How you Gox?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Sweet like honey. Intelligent, kind of funny.
Yo,
So you should have said.
it's Kenny.
Wow.
Are you happy now?
You can see how silly we get.
Yeah, I can see.
Sweat.
We need to be serious, guys.
Sorry.
We need to be serious. No, I'm joking. But just to get started off, I guess just give me your background, both of you. How you got into property, and even before that, what was your life looking at before you got into it?
Yes.
Wow. Life before property, what can I say? Well, my background is media, communications and journalism. So that's what I studied at university. So, aside getting into property, that is another passion of mine to, go into presenting, doing voiceovers and things like that.
That's why you're so well spoken.
Yes.
It makes sense now.
You're in your element right now.
Yes, okay.
It makes sense.
Yeah, and then in terms of my full-time job, I work in Citibank and so everything finance. I mean, the goal is to move away completely from 9 to 5 and to, do. It's quite boring. It really isn't for me, to be honest, if I'm going to say that. So, property is always something that has been presented to me because my family, they're all into property. My parents predominantly, are landlords.
Okay.
So it's something that I have been used to and I have seen firsthand, and it is something that they have encouraged us to always get into. So I guess it's just come about now because now is the right time. I mean, before getting into it, I didn't think it would be possible. I always, thought that how would I achieve, going into property investment, but myself and Sandra took the bold step last year, and here we are.
I mean, you definitely dived in the most
in
craziest
deep
time you
end.
could ever dive in
Exactly.
in the pandemic. I mean, I don't know if that was the best choice, but you can tell us about that after.
Yeah.
But yeah, introduce yourself as well.
Okay, so for me, Sandra, I also work full-time in the financial industry. I've been working at my current job for about over 5 years now.
Okay.
And the goal is also to get away from 9 to 5. It's not for me.
That line, yeah.
I want to be my own boss.
Love
I want
it.
to be able to travel out when I want to travel out. I want to be able to sleep in when I want to sleep in.
That's it.
Do you know? Property, like Zoe as well, has always been a passion for me as well. My parents were also landlords.
Wow.
But obviously they didn't really take the correct steps. They basically owned properties in London and sold it. Imagine, obviously those days when they knew about the market, the property market was crashing. They just thought the best thing was to sell their property and get rid of it. But obviously now we know that the best thing is to always hold on to your assets.
Exactly.
So that's what they did, and they used the money to invest in Nigeria.
Like they would do.
How's that going?
Now they're regretting it. They're like, oh, if I just
buy one house in Peckham.
That one in Earings.
They've just, if only I just did that.
Exactly.
But I've been swimming into buying. I was like, oh. But it's what it is. You learn from your mistakes. Well, I'm definitely learning from their mistakes. And obviously I don't want to make the same mistakes that they did, so I can pass it on to our children and our children's children.
Come on.
So that's the goal for me. What was the other question? I think that's it, right?
No, that's it. But I'm
it.
just saying, it's mad how they never told us this, like when we was going to school and then uni and stuff. That there's other things available, like you can actually get into property. Because obviously, all of us, or me, I'm a pharmacist by trade, so I went to uni thinking this
That's
is it.
it,
Yeah, keep working my way up and blah blah blah. But look at you, lot, after a few years at uni, you're like, this ain't even it. Like starting working in the corporate world, and you've had enough already, man. So which is a shame, but
Definitely not dying in our jobs now.
I lie. Some people been working in jobs for like 50 years, 25 years. I was looking at that and said, I can't.
Yeah, not to say that you can't have a job you
Yeah.
can't enjoy and you can't love and it can't be great, but I
not
think
for
it's not for
everyone.
everyone.
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone.
Exactly. Some people are content with being in the job for
That's
40
it.
years.
And that's all right.
That's them,
That's
yeah.
all right.
It works for them. I think what everyone wants, or what I want, is that freedom.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah. What everyone wants is that freedom, just to be able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Not, okay, there's a holiday, I have to check annual leave.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Would they say, I've only got 2 more days left?
Think about how you're gonna stretch those.
I
2
lie.
days.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'm going to call in sick.
Got to a point where
I'm going to call in sick.
I've never done that before. Have you?
Oh, no.
You can snitch yourself. You
Not
can
me.
snitch on yourself today.
Them man there.
Okay, cool. But I guess coming from that kind of background then, and then obviously having an interest in property, how did you get into your first deal and how did that look like? Or what was the process of that? And because obviously your first deal, usually people just buy their first maybe like residential house, and move in, but your deal was kind of different, right? So how did that come about?
we were initially, before we actually started Sanzo, well, in the process of starting it, our plan was to go into rent first of all. Because at the time we were both saving for our individual homes. We wanted to buy our own houses and get away from our family homes.
You said that with so much vim, like, you've had enough.
And then whilst we were looking for rent-to-rent properties, it was very like, how do I say it? So we had a mentor for our rent-to-rent course, and he basically told us we should be making like 40 calls per day to agents. We should be dropping letters.
We've done that still.
And working full time and making 40 calls outside of our full time job.
What, lunchtime?
As in,
It
like,
doesn't
it
work.
just wasn't working out for us. And it just got a bit draining, to be honest. And the fact that when we actually got to a place where, okay, we can put an offer in, the landlord's interested, the agent's interested, they will look at our how long we've been in operation for. Like, okay, you guys are newbies, we don't really want to give it to you, we can give it to someone else that's been doing it for like 2-3 years. So apart from actually looking for properties, we did find properties, but there was another barrier in terms of how long we've been operating for. So it's like, okay, if you don't give us a chance, then how are we actually going to get there?
A lot
And
of them wanted
then
to trade for 2 years.
Yeah,
exactly, yeah. And then we said to ourselves, okay, if we do buy our own houses, because our goal was to actually buy houses after doing, like, get the cash flow from rent to rent and then buy our own houses.
Yeah.
But then we knew we had to strategize to how long it would take us to actually get there. And then we thought to ourselves, like, why are we actually rushing to buy our own houses now? Like, we've got our own space in our homes. Like, why do we need to
I like that.
rush and go into something that actually is not necessary right now? So we thought, let's just put our funds together and buy a property, and that's what we did.
Amazing.
Before that as well, like, I think, how did you guys meet? I don't think we went into how.
Yeah.
How did you
The
become, the dynamic duo?
That's
like?
the important
It's
part
just
of
the
the
hood.
story.
Yeah, it's crazy because we go to the same church first and foremost. I went.
Amen.
I don't know if you guys have
That's the amen. It's like it's feeling like a sinner. That's the amen.
I like to finish every podcast.
Carry on.
Yeah, we go to the same church, Christ Faith Tabernacle. Shout out
CFT.
to Woolwich. Yeah.
Church boy.
You know what I'm saying?
My guy.
CFT.
CAC.
Them done. Them quiet dons.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
So crazy singing in the choir.
Sorry, carry on.
We
I
can't
did.
finish our sentence with you.
sorry. Make me laugh.
This is not like any other podcast. We're very free. Like,
Oh,
This is what we need to
I'm
keep the
actually
vibe.
sweating.
Sorry, carry on.
I am
Oh
laughing.
God. Okay. Yeah. So I started to go there 5 years ago, and there's a group called Joanna's. So basically, the meaning of Joanna's is a hospitality group that caters to the pastor and his wife.
Okay.
So basically, we look after them. We serve. It's like we serve them. Sorry, I know that term "serve" sounds, but
We're
we
church
provide
goers.
like hospitality service. So she was also in the same Joanna group,
Okay.
and I mean, we just fell into being friends, but never obviously thought that one day we would become business partners. But
Yeah.
the friendship just blossomed, and we became closer. And then I think 2019 December. She mentioned that she was going to go to a Samuel Lee's crash course, and I was like, oh. in my mind, I was, my goal the next year, so 2020, was to get into property, but I didn't know where to start from. So I said I would tag along with her to the Samuel Lee's crash course. And she was like, yeah, come along. So we went together for, the 3 days crash course. And then from there, we were just like, I mean, should we just, get into business
together?
Yeah. And then we started
Power number.
Yeah, and then we were like, okay, if we were to, go into business together, what kind of name would we have? And then we were like, Sanzo. That sounds good.
That's cool, isn't it?
Is that biblical reference there or no?
No,
It's our name.
Sandra Zoe. You know
I was still in church.
Maybe it's a Hebrew name.
I was still in church.
Hebrew.
Sorry, I was still
A
in
lot
church.
of people haven't realised that Sanzo is actually.
I didn't actually clock it, you know.
I didn't clock that till now.
I literally clocked it.
yeah.
I thought it was a biblical name.
Zoe.
Sandra Zoe.
It was a New
And so
Testament
like,
name.
yeah, that sounds really good. And then the rest is history.
So can I ask a question? Like we have a lot of people who talk about courses and stuff like that. A lot of them, especially Goke and Akin, don't really have a positive.
Don't say that. No. I'm basing it on my experience.
I know.
No.
I have a negative one.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll get into
Right.
yours. Okay, cool.
But-
But I'm just based on my experience.
But I would like to hear. But then we've had 2 people come on here who have said it's been
worked.
fantastic.
Like, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
okay.
we'd like to hear from you. Is it worthwhile to you?
I think it depends
in terms
on
of
how,
what it costs and stuff.
In terms of the cost, you need to think about that, properly. I mean, if they're asking you
Just
to
to put
spend
out
like,
there, the crash course was actually free.
Yeah.
We didn't
Oh,
pay.
yeah.
I can pay 10 grand for his
but
one.
it,
We
yeah,
didn't pay for Samuel
I
Lee's
just put that out
course.
there.
if they're asking you
Let's
to
put
pay
that
like
out
some ridiculous amount, like
Let's
10
put that
grand.
10 grand, yeah.
I'm sorry,
Like,
there's a
it's
lot of
not-
free education out there.
Honestly.
There's YouTube,
Honestly.
there's Clubhouse now. Like there's
Yeah.
there's so many things out there that you can research and learn for yourself. I don't think it's worth spending.
But for
10
your
grand.
experience, did you leave it positively saying that?
Was it a 3-day crash course, brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
We
3-day
left-
free crash course.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, free.
Yeah.
We left there
Very
feeling
important.
very positive, to be honest, and very encouraged, and it kind of gingered us.
It pushed you.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
it really
That's
pushed
good.
us.
No, it's true.
And
Yeah.
did you do the subsequent
Like one-to-ones and all that.
Word.
after? Or?
You got what you got and called it a day.
Okay, so that's fine then. That's the main thing we'll talk about. We just
Yeah,
didn't
we
want
got what
you
we
to pay 10
needed.
grand.
So in terms of, we were focused on rent to rent.
Okay.
We look obviously they told us about all the strategies within property.
Yeah.
And then obviously it's up to you to know which one you want to focus on.
Exactly.
So we chose rent to rent, and then we got mentored in rent to rent. We found one that was way cheaper, but we looked at the results that they have as well. So
Cool.
that's what we did. But
Okay.
in terms of what we're doing now, we didn't get mentored.
Okay, so so that goes into my next question, which is like what kind of deals are you looking at currently, and sort of like what's your main strategy at the moment? So what is the main strategy that you use at the moment in terms of property?
Right now it's a BRRR, so buy, refurbish, rent, refinance.
Okay, cool.
So we buy properties that basically need fixing or just doing up, and then we refurbish it, and then we refinance and rent it out.
Even before that, I was saying, obviously, you lot wanted to do rent to rent first.
Yeah.
What was the transition? Like, what did that look like from you doing what you're doing now?
9 to
The
5.
transition was just
It's a big jump.
one day we were like, so this is not for us anymore. like
Was
let's
it the
think-
calls? Was it the
calls,
profits?
the calls, the like when we were calling and people, obviously you need to have experience, and then we thought to ourselves like, we would rather own the assets ourselves, more power. Like, come
Yeah.
on, we'd
Yeah.
rather
Ownership.
own the assets ourselves. So we were like, why don't we just look into it? And then this deal, that we're currently doing, just happened to fall on our laps. I mean, it's not like, I don't even want to say we weren't looking, because we did want to start buying, but as divine intervention, like this deal just came our way.
Explain that story.
Explain it.
Get
How
into
did
that.
how did it come about?
Come on.
So it started off with so I have a friend that does open viewings for auction properties. So he lives quite close to me. So the property was an hour away. It's in Dover. So he wanted basically a ride to drive there to do the open viewing. So I tagged along with him. And once I got into the property, I was like, what? This property has so much potential. I was like, oh my gosh, if I could just buy this right now, blah, blah, blah.
Where was this, by the way?
In Dover.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we was talking about the figures and everything, and then we did our research. We was like, this property could be a really good deal, And he was like, oh, I could talk to them and see if you can put an offer in before the auction day, because obviously auction properties you would have to bid for it.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, if you want to put in an offer, he will talk. They will talk to the seller and see what they say. So we put our offer in, and they accepted it.
Wow, just like that.
Wait. Your first offer, like second offer?
It was the guide price was 165, and we said, okay, so what if we put in? I think 175. They spoke to him because if you push it up to 180, then we can have it. Buy it, and then that's what we did.
Yeah.
Was there many other people going for the property as well? Was there much interest?
It was an auction.
It was an auction. Okay.
A lot of people were viewing a property and hoping to bid for the property on auction day.
Cool. So you saw the potential, you saw the comparables. You're like, it's ready to go. You do it up.
Yeah, we make money.
How many bed was it?
3 bedrooms.
3 bed.
2 receptions.
And obviously, this was your first deal together, right? This was your first property deal. Like, was you lot scared? Like, this is, you're buying a property like that.
Fasting and prayer, like, what was that process?
A lot of that.
Okay,
to be
makes
honest,
sense.
a lot of prayer. Like sometimes a lot of tears. Like the whole process was. People
It was
see,
a long, stressful process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People see it as it is, but they don't know what goes behind it.
Yeah, tell us a bit about the obstacles you lot faced buying that one.
God.
Tell me about the tears. Why were there tears?
Yeah, why the tears?
There was one
fed up.
main, because we thought, obviously, because it's an auction property, we already put our deposit down. You know, with those properties, if you don't complete, you lose your deposit.
Did you have 28 days to complete or 56?
No, ours was longer.
We had longer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Which was good, and it got extended. Like it was.
nice.
Can you imagine an auction property? We exchanged contracts on July because you exchange contracts as soon as you put your deposit down.
Yeah.
And then we was meant to complete. How many
September
weeks did they give us?
25th, we were supposed to complete.
And we completed on
December
December.
17th.
Just
Whoa.
Later.
December for auction
Wait,
property.
when?
July to
December when?
December.
December 17th or so.
Oh, bless that they allowed you. What
Christmas present.
was the obstacles?
So
A court order.
there was a court order on the property. Yeah.
Why?
Reason being? Or?
So basically, how am I ever going to explain this now? Yeah, so basically, the court order basically stated, one of the clauses was that the property shouldn't be sold for less than £200,000.
Wow, okay.
And obviously, when we saw that court order in the legal pack, we were like, okay, this needs to be addressed. We spoke to the seller's solicitor, this needs to be addressed, blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, don't worry, they'll sort it out. It'll be fine. We're like, okay, cool. So we, obviously, there was loads of other paperwork and stuff that we had to do. So we weren't focusing on that one thing. So we just thought, yeah, he will sort that out. When it came to, there were so many times the completion dates we just got pushed back. So when it came to our completion date, we asked the lender, is there anything else that you need? Is there anything that you need to confirm? They said, no, it's fine. Just send us a copy of the new court order. We're like, oh, that new court order, we didn't chase it up. So we asked the seller solicitor, where's the court order? No response.
Hey.
Hello, where is this court order? Silence. We're like, what's happening? Do you not want to sell this house? Like, what's going on? I think the next day he responded, the day we was meant to complete, he responded to us and was like, we've now put that application in to get a new
court.
Into the
Just
court.
now.
Application.
Not even-
Hey.
Yes.
When we're supposed to
And
be.
there's no time frame as to when the court will respond to your application.
Yeah. COVID as well.
COVID, yes,
COVID,
exactly.
on top
During
of that,
COVID.
exactly.
I was like, that's it.
Maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe it's the sign.
At this point,
Maybe it's a sign.
some of the people around us were like, if it doesn't work out, that's better. I was like, no, it must work out.
You know what?
Hallelujah.
This is why I always say this. Like, okay, people say that, I'm rude or I'm a pest on the phone. But if you don't be a pest, you will not get stuff done. Like, sometimes they actually call me first because they know that if they don't call me, I'm going to call them and start moaning. Yeah.
Okay.
They always call me first because they know, okay, 12 o'clock, this guy's going to call just before lunchtime. So,
They don't move unless you're on their back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
We
And
literally
with our
had to.
first property, asked the solicitor, I'm sorry.
Bad experience.
Bad experience. No.
Would you recommend them to anyone else?
No. We had to do so much chasing, and there was a time when she sent us an email of like loads of documents that we needed to complete. So we thought, okay, let's complete it and we send it off. She was like, why did you do that? You should have waited for me to talk through it. I said, did you tell us
anything?
Did you tell us to do that? You just sent us an email and said, here are the forms. You didn't say
No instructions.
no instructions, no nothing. So what did you expect us to do? Just wait until you say something else.
And these are the obstacles people face.
Exactly.
And as a property investor, you got to get comfortable with this. Literally. Like, that's just part of it.
You need to overcome them. Because they will come.
They will
Yeah.
come.
Yeah.
So I want to speak a little bit about your, the duo, because I called you obviously Krypton Cone.
Wow, that's a big name,
I mean, you're big girls in this industry now. I see big things. I'm seeing big things in both of them. So this is what it is.
Amen. We'll get
But
there.
How is it working with each other and like who does what and like
It's
you know,
absolutely.
yeah, how does it go? How does it go?
I mean, it's blessed.
Yeah.
I don't know about this partnership.
Who finds the deals? Who analyze that?
Both of us do everything.
Okay, cool.
Both of us do everything, and like we have meetings like, every day. Even though we talk every day, like I don't think there's been a day where we haven't spoken. Since we've started this journey over a year ago. There hasn't been a day where we haven't spoken to each other.
Yeah.
And we, even though we speak to each other every day, we still have a meeting, like a Zoom meeting,
Once
every
a
week.
week.
Yeah, once
I was
a
gonna
week.
say because you lot are friends, innit?
Yeah.
So and your business partners as well. Like, how do you balance? How do you get serious?
Yeah, because we heard
How do you
stories
go
of
from
friends
talking
There's
about
horrible
Netflix
stories,
to?
isn't
going
it?
into business and
Because we fight all the time. To be honest, especially with him, these two.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like
I
I'm
think-
joking. I love him.
There are so many horrible stories. Don't ever get into business with your
Friend,
friend or
yeah.
your family. I don't know, but when something works, it just
Works.
works.
Yeah,
Like for us, like we don't argue
Yeah.
by the grace of God.
Why would you late today? It's like arguing about that.
There's no arguments. There's genuine understanding, and because
Yeah.
we both want each other to do. We want to do well.
Yeah.
Like that kind of drives us. And in terms of separating business pleasure, we know the time and the place. We know when it's time to get serious. We know when it's time to. We have to be on a call. We have to do this. It just smoothly works. To be
And I
honest,
think what also helps is that we have the same values, the
That's
same goals.
Yeah.
Key.
The fact that we met in church,
Same faith.
it's
Yeah.
like no
Same
matter
vision.
anything, we pray regularly together. So it's
Yeah.
like any obstacle we
Yeah.
come across, we're like just put it to
go.
prayer.
Yeah.
Maybe
You have to
just
tithe
start
this
praying
month.
as
Make sure
well,
you
guys.
tithe all that stuff. You're on to each other. It's good. I can see that it says top 10 under 30 property
I
entrepreneurs.
saw that Yahoo Finance.
Talk about that. Accolades. Accolades.
How did that come
Put
about?
on your Instagram status.
Yeah.
I mean,
How did that come about?
It came
we were
about.
approached,
Yeah.
and we said okay.
Yeah,
Because they saw our work, they spoke about, we had a chat about what we did before and what we're doing now, what our goals are, and then they can see that, okay, if you carry on like this, then
You're gonna be.
wants to watch.
You're gonna be wants to
I
watch.
think, yeah. No, I think what you guys are standing for is very powerful. I mean, you probably don't realize it, but
Yeah, we
just
don't.
being young black women doing your thing in this space. There's not that there's not many, but there's loads of them. But no one's actually putting them stuff out there and
That's
Yeah.
very
documenting the
true,
journey.
yeah.
as
You lot are
well.
doing it together as well.
Exactly. I see your
Yeah.
YouTube. I see everything. So if you
right.
keep pushing on that stuff, honestly.
Thank you.
Before you move on to the
Yeah.
next question though, like let's just get into this first, do a little bit more
Okay.
to kind of get an understanding. Okay, so you find a property now. Glory to God, you got it across the land, you got the property, you got the keys now. Your first property. What happened next?
We got the key. So builders, obviously, you have to find the right builders to be able to carry out the work properly. That's very key because obviously our goal with this property is to turn it into a luxury HMO,
Yeah, 5 bed.
6 bed.
6 bed, okay.
4 en suites.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know, so we want to rent that out to professionals out there. So
Were the ensuite's there already, or did you build
no,
them?
we're
No,
building
we should.
that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
good.
So we obviously found, by the grace of God, we found a good builder who's currently going through the work. And people often ask us, obviously as women in the industry,
Yeah.
how do you navigate with a builder, because
For
they
real.
kind of have that
Male
just when-
dominated.
Yeah,
Yeah, what do you know?
Yeah, what do you know?
And
What?
honestly, sometimes they can lie to you as well and say that it's gonna cost
Yeah.
$5,000 more than it
Exactly.
should.
We've had a few this needs to suddenly this new cost needs to
Yeah,
sort it
comes
out
out of
and all
nowhere.
that.
How did you lot even find the builder? Like, did you go for
The
a
right
few
one, yeah.
Frogs. And
We
that?
had we went
Check a Trade.
online. I think we had Check a Trade, and we booked in like several builders on one day. And then they all gave us quotes, and we basically chose the one that we felt. We didn't go with the cheapest one. We went with the one that we felt would do the
Yeah.
job. 'Cause
Yeah.
Obviously, we had to look at their previous work and stuff.
Yeah.
And how big their team is. There was one that we initially wanted to go
Oh
with.
my God.
And he said it was just him and his
His
son.
son.
And we were like,
Just
huh?
whole refurb.
Exactly.
He said, no, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
We'll probably reach out to him again to be like our handyman, because he was a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, like maybe smaller jobs.
Smaller
Exactly,
jobs,
yeah.
but
But,
not the large scale.
Exactly. So
And also, do you mind us asking how long is the turnaround time for the whole job to be done?
started properly,
January.
beginning of January.
Next
ends in
month.
End of 30th of April, hopefully.
Are you okay to go into the numbers about the actual deal
Yeah.
as well?
The
So
refurb
in
cost.
terms of deposit, refurb
Sounds
costs,
a good
and
one.
also end value as well once the
Okay.
plan's done up as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
What are you looking to refinance and stuff? Or
Yeah.
what are you looking to do?
Yeah, so the deposit was a 30% of the purchase price. So we had to put in,
So a bit
because it
higher
was-
than normal.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it was bridging
Bridging.
finance, and obviously
Okay.
they take away the interest and their fees from the loan.
Yeah.
We now have to put in more
More.
than 30%.
Okay.
So I think at the end it came up to like 58,000.
I think. Was it 58?
Around
54
that.
to
It's okay.
58.
It's not a maths competition.
It was around that because we had our figure and then it just keeps creeping up and creeping up and
Yeah,
creeping up.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
taking
yeah,
away this
yeah,
because what they tell us at the beginning is going to be less than what the actual figure is on the completion
Yeah.
statement. So. So we put in 30%. Let's just keep it simple. Put in 30% of the purchase price, and then the refurb is 50,000.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Slightly
Down
more.
south, that's good. That's good.
It is, isn't it?
That's amazing. Down south, amazing.
That is
pretty
Because
good.
up
Such
north, we can do. It's kind of
How
same
many
cost.
bathrooms?
40 to 50k.
And
So
you're
4
building the
en-suites.
en-suites as well.
Yeah, so
4
4
en-suites and then
suites,
one
one
extra
shed,
bathroom
yeah,
for
one-
the 2 remaining.
Yeah.
So that's
50K,
5
that's
bathrooms.
pretty
Is it
That's
cheap?
really good for down south.
People were like, that's expensive.
No,
No,
people
down south.
People look saying
People, you know, people
cheap.
spend 100k on refurbs like that.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's with extensions though.
yeah, fair enough. So
Yeah.
this must have been a
Big
big.
extension.
Was it a Victorian building?
It
What
was
was
a
it?
Victorian, and it went.
Okay.
They did do back to brick, so
Oh,
we
okay.
weren't actually planning to do back to brick. But when they took off the wallpaper and saw that the walls were blown, we
Yeah.
had to go. There was no other
turning back, we had to do
But-
it.
I can see you created some more space in one of the rooms as well. You took out the chimney breast, I think.
Yeah.
Yes,
Trimmed as well,
we
so
took
you
out
got
all the
extra
chimney
space as well.
breast.
I can done his
It was for
research.
You actually
them.
find problems dealing with neighbours and their sort
Yeah.
of restrictions.
Mate,
Wow.
I've got-
I've heard
Get
of
into
that.
Get into that one.
Neighbours come and start saying, "Oh, you're 1 meter
Oh,
over."
you're building an HMO in this area. It's
I
quiet here.
scheduled a call with my builder today. I said, no, we need to talk properly because we WhatsApp every day, but we need to do like a long catch up. Okay, what's actually been done this week? Because he said that he was going around to the builder's house, to the neighbour's house. So what happened with our builder, with our neighbour, so when they were taking off the blown walls, there was a lot of vibrations when they had to do that. So they were like, oh, the neighbour said that part of their paint in the kitchen was chipped.
Chipped.
Yeah.
And it was like,
crack. One
it was
small
like 1
line.
centimetre.
Why are they like this?
1 centimetre of
You gotta
paint.
pay for that, man.
Guess how much they want? Guess, tell them how much they
Was it
want.
£250?
God damn it.
Line in the wall.
Obviously, that builder
I'll
was
come and
like,
do it
we're
for
going
you.
to fix it.
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, like,
we'll
relax.
fix it for you.
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, I'll do it myself.
And then
I'll
bill you.
compensation. Are you mad?
Why are neighbours like
What
this?
do you think this
There's
is?
haters in this life.
And you
know,
know,
they're gonna step up.
and you know, they were selling the house as well because we thought.
Ah.
So we thought, okay, just
we-
go, just go. If it was like, if they were staying there, we'd
Yeah.
know that we would have to keep them a bit
Happy.
That's-
But we actually approached them before we actually started the work.
To tell
saying-
them,
To tell them,
exactly.
to let them know.
Works
And they
and
were
Yeah.
completely fine with it. Now all of a sudden, 1 centimetre of paint has come off your kitchen wall
Yeah.
and you are shouting about £250. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add
Nah,
up.
Crazy.
It's hard because even right now we're doing a refurb at the moment, and there's rumours going around the area that we're going to be housing ex-offenders.
Eh?
Exactly. They had to complain. They complained to the chancellor. They complained to this person. Obviously, we're putting young professionals in there, blah blah. But
Ex-offenders.
yeah, exactly. They're like put all these small rumours. Like, oh god, but it's part of the process.
gosh.
Like, it's part of the process. What I was going to ask you guys as well: how did you, obviously dealing with builders for the first time? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
They throw around some lingos and they're talking about drains and talking
And
about
all
this,
that,
the
yeah.
W, all this different thing. Like, how did you lot? Obviously, sometimes you got to fake it to just say, "Oh yeah,
I'm
I'm
telling you. This is what we do. We're like, oh, okay. And then when we get home, Google. What do you think about this? And when obviously we did a lot of
that is it.
networking, so we know a lot of people around us that are going through it at the moment. We're always going out, reaching out to them, asking, what do you think about this and that? And we're very transparent in our Instagram page as well. We always put it up there saying, oh, this is what we're facing at the moment, and a lot of people give their opinion, like people that experience, of course. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we do.
okay." I think we probably need a break because we've been chatting for 30 minutes.
Wow,
So
that's so
we have a quick break and then we'll round up.